Okay, everyone, can you hear me now? It's that darn ghost in my house. Okay, sorry. All right, there we go. There we go. How's this? You can hear me? Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm back. All right. Yeah, I don't know. You guys. I don't know what. I don't know why. I don't know why. Let me just bring. Loud and clear. All right. Good. Hi, everyone. I missed you. So yeah, I don't know what it is with my computer, but it often just mutes itself, and it's unclear why. I didn't have a lot of time to get ready today, so let me just finish my process here. Give the ghost a name. Okay. Okay. How do we like that? I feel better about that. Hi everyone. Welcome for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Yeah. Okay. How are we all doing? So yeah, I just thought I wasn't sure what to wear. I didn't give myself a lot of time to get ready for this. And I wasn't sure what to wear, and I was like, well, I'm cold. I need something with long sleeves. And I was like, oh, why not just throw on this old thing? So this is the rose dressing gown that was on Patreon. God, when did we put it up? What day is it? What year is it? I think today is the 12th. Right? So today's the 12th. So we put this up on the 1st on Patreon, and you guys just responded so well to it. So I haven't actually worn it around the house yet. So this is fun. I have a fan right here. I feel like doing one of these. Oh, now I'm hot. I was gathering a bunch of accessories. I shot photos yesterday. So I've been like gathering accessories and moving stuff around the house. And there's just like there's stuff everywhere. There's like fans, there's like hair flowers, shoes, hairbrushes, tweezers. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy in here. Yeah, but everything went really well. Sabrina, you had snow. Yeah, we actually had a little snow too. There was like sleet and some snowflakes, and it just was not a nice weekend. Yeah, so let's see. Friday, I shot the video for a project that's coming up for this month. This project doesn't really have a like a due date. Is that the right word? Or a release date? Really, just like whenever I can get it out is when it's coming out. And it's something that's totally unexpected. It's one of those things that kind of came up during quarantine. And I thought, you know what, let's just do this. Let's just kind of like roll with the punches. I wasn't able to do some things that I wanted to do. So this was something that kind of came out of nowhere, a collaboration with someone. And I was like, let's just do this. And so I have a flag. Guys, you know I get, oh, this one? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, feel free to tell me that, stuff like that, because you know how I am. Oh, okay, I'm fine now. So let's see. So this project that's coming out, it's just kind of like a weird add-on to the schedule during this weird time. And it's going to be on YouTube with some corresponding content on Patreon. So I'm kind of thinking of it as our YouTube project for May. So what the hell month is it? For May. Because we haven't released a full YouTube video yet this month. So yeah, you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. So as I mentioned last week, I tried to do video on Wednesday and had like a total meltdown and couldn't get through it. So tried again on Friday and got everything I needed, so that's good. So, and then pictures yesterday. So, yeah, it's really weird. Just shooting everything in my house, in my yard. My neighbors think I'm crazier than they did before, if that's possible. And yeah, so today I spent the day today kind of like going through all of the footage and all of the shots, and the video goes to John to edit. So if you guys remember seeing John's little sock feet in the videos, he usually takes the video, but obviously we're not doing any projects with a crew right now. So he is doing the editing on the video. So I'm like trying to get that all together and sent off to him. And it's just like the longest process of like uploading things and waiting for it to sync to Dropbox and et cetera, et cetera. So there's that. And then going through the photos. So 1,200 photos to go through. And yeah, there's some good ones in there. I feel like it'll be really fun. Those go to Sophie next. So she is the owner of Shameless Pinup, and she has been doing the editing on photos that I've been producing here in quarantine. So yeah, so she will be getting those next, but I just have to go through them all and decide which ones are my favorite. Do I have a wonky lash? How do we feel about my lash today? Come on, lash. So yeah, so that's the plan. I feel like, the dressing gown photos came out so well through that process, and it's amazing what a photo editor can do with a raw picture, like an unedited picture, and just correcting the light. And Sophie did some stuff to make those last photos very like fairy tale glamorous. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she does with them, and I'm learning to trust this process a little bit more. And yeah, it'll be good. I can't wait to show you guys this project. So the next thing is shooting for June's Patreon. So very excited about that. My lashes are always perfect. Eyes on fleek. I feel like this one's like kind of going down a little bit. So yeah. Diane says, I have to take photos for something important. Is there anything you can recommend to help them look good? I mean, it kind of depends on what you're shooting. If you're going to be modeling, I do have some posing workshops that I've done. And I also have hair and makeup workshops that I've done on Patreon. So if you need help with that stuff, check those out. I would say the other thing, is hiring, if you can, an editor to work on your photos. And Sophie works in RAW. So you'll want to take your photos in RAW format, send it to an editor who can hopefully really polish them up. Because I know that for me, when I've looked at some photos before editing and color correcting and light correcting and all of that stuff, I've just especially I think the diner is a good example of this, the diner shots that we did. There was one photo that I really wasn't all that keen on, but Ryan, who took those photos, he was just crazy about this one photo, and he was saying let me retouch this, I can fix the light, because there were a lot of shadows on my face, and I was just like, well, it's not really we didn't get it, that's how I thought. That's what I felt about it looking at it. I was like, well, we didn't really get the shot. But a good editor can fix the light or any problems like that and correct any color issues, correct any light issues, and totally transform a photo. So if that's something that you have available to you, or you're able to hire someone, or you have a friend who does photo editing, I would really recommend it. Yeah, lighting is really, really tough. And I have a couple lights here in my house that I can use, but honestly, they're nothing like the lights you could use that you would get with a professional rig. And I asked Sophie about like, is there anything that we can do here at home to like correct the lighting? And she really said like the learning curve is so high on like the kind of flash photography that you would do, that it's better to just shoot in natural light. I know that for me, the photos tend to come out better in natural light. You don't want to be in direct sunlight. It's actually better at the end of the day, like kind of after, like while the sun is setting, and you're not going to get any harsh shadows or anything like that on your face. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do on your own. I would say if you can give yourself a practice day and see, yeah, if you can get someone, a professional, to help you with the editing of the shots. Yeah, that's my 2 cents, I guess. The golden hour, yeah, totally. Yeah, that like sort of, I think it was like 7 o'clock here last night, taking some photos out in front of my house, and they were so much better than the like noon, 1 o'clock photos. So yeah, yeah, I'm happy to help further. I mean, I don't know a ton about photography, but I know what I've learned from working with photographers over the years. So yeah, and it's been yeah, it's just been good. And yeah, it's been nice to be able to continue to hire people that I work with, like to do the editing and stuff like that, because I would really not love it if I couldn't have any of my freelancers work for me right now. So yeah, people like editors are still working. Yeah, so even if you can't get together with people to do a shoot right now, you can still hire an editor to help you with your project. Yeah, so preen break. How are you guys doing? Oh yeah, I finished my stripes on my knitting project. Very excited about that. So let's see, on Saturday, I spent a lot of time knitting, and I got to the end of my stripes. And I think I told you guys that it would take me a week to get through them, and it didn't take me that long. So I was excited about that. And should I grab it? Yeah, I should grab it. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm coming. Can you guys tell that I'm wearing sweatpants under this? Last time I like flashed my little petty pants, and this time I might be flashing my sweats. I'm really cold, so guys, the sweats aren't coming off. Okay. So Lucy says, I'm 4 stripes away from the waistband. Yeah, this has been super fun. And you can see I've started on the ribbing down here. So I don't know if you can see the ribbing. This has been, so one thing I don't understand about knitting is like you get the gauge for the 4 stockinette stitch up here, so you know what it's supposed to look like there. But how do I know if my ribbing is too loose? Like those stitches look a lot bigger than I would have thought they should look. But I'll also say that I did compare it to Amy's photos on Ravelry, and I was like, oh, it looks the same. So we'll see. So yeah, it's really close. I have like another couple inches of ribbing to do. Yeah, I did change needle size. I went from 5 down to 3. Excuse me. I went down to 3. So, I mean, but I guess, no, I did switch to a smaller needle, guys. I feel like my tension is different when I'm working in a rib because of having to switch the yarn back and forth from front to back. So I don't know. Do I just trust that going down 2 sizes was enough? I guess so. What's my Ravelry account? It's so Gertie so. So yeah, find me on Ravelry. I've been on there for like 12 years or something. That's pretty common. Rib is also looser as a stitch. All right, well, I guess it'll be fine. Like I said, it looks a lot. I like looked through all of the photos on Ravelry and I was like, it looks the same. It looks like everyone else's. So yeah, feeling good about that. Megan says, I may need to go down an extra size for ribbing as standard. All right. Great. I mean, maybe I'll just see how this one goes. We'll see. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. I just need to finish the waistband, and then the next step is doing the little ribbed sleeve cuffs. So right here, doing like a little ring on both sides, obviously. And then the neckband, it's like a little mock turtleneck kind of thing. So that's exciting. And let's see. Probably fine for this project. I think it'll be fine. I was also a little worried about the sizing on the waistband. It seemed like compared to my natural waist measurement, there was going to be like 5 or 4 inches of ease. And I was like, well, that seems like a lot. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to be bothered if it's like a little bit, big in the waist. It is a fast knit and it doesn't need sleeves. It's very, very exciting. And if I can do it, guys, you can do it. Knitting is too anxiety for me. I was just talking to someone today who said that knitting is a good like treatment for anxiety. So I don't know, maybe I feel like I tend to get anxious about it when it's like there are a lot of steps and directions and like the wrap and turn and the short rows and all that, but I got through it. So maybe if it gives you anxiety to knit, you could just do something really simple like a scarf and just get into the sort of like repetitive motion of it rather than having to follow directions. If it's too big, you could use it for a giveaway on Patreon. Oh, wow. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I can part with this. I'll consider that. I feel like it's going to fit. It's going to fit, guys. Knitting can give the same kind of brain waves as when you do meditation, but probably not if you do cables and stuff. Yeah, it probably depends on what you're working on, right? So if it's something that's like new information, you're probably using a different part of your brain, like you do when you learn something new and like you have this sort of like dopamine satisfaction of like learning something new, but it's not going to necessarily relax you. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Yeah, I think, probably the repetition of just doing like knit stitches over and over again could be fairly therapeutic. How long did it take me to knit it? 2 weeks so far, so that's not bad. I've also been spending a lot of time on it. Like I've been knitting every night and doing quite a bit of knitting on the weekends. So what else? Oh, so then on Sunday, I did do some sewing. I said I wasn't going to work last weekend, but I did end up working a bit, prepping for the shoot yesterday. So, yeah. Sunday was actually a little stressful because I was like, I have like a lot of things to wrap up before I can shoot them. But all's well that ends well. Melissa says, I'm a very beginning knitter. What is an easy scarf pattern? I don't know. You probably don't even really need a scarf or a pattern to do a scarf. We were talking last week about the book Stitch and Bitch by Debbie Stoller, which is a great beginner book, and she talks about how to make a scarf in there. So I would recommend getting that book if you're new. I also had a book called Last Minute Knitted Gifts by Pearl Soho. Do you guys know that book? And I really liked that when I was first starting out knitting, because they have like easy, fast scarf patterns. I really liked their hat pattern in that book. So that might be something to check out. Lily says, I have to shorten the length of the dressing gown by 2 3/4 inches because I'm short. Yeah, I tend to err a little bit on the longer side, I think, for things, because I tend to have a preference for things being longer. It's especially difficult with a floor length garment because it's not like you can wear it extra long. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just like, oh, it's just a little longer than I expected. It's like, no, it can't be like dragging on the floor. So, but the great thing about it is this is the kind of garment that you can turn up the hem after you've constructed the whole thing. Try it on with, if you're planning on wearing slippers with it, if you have some boudoir slippers that you want to take pictures with, or whatever you want to do with it, make sure that you try it on with those shoes or slippers and then figure out the hem length. It's nice if it just grazes the floor. And so just like turn it up from there. You don't have to like do a fold in the middle of the pattern piece. You can just turn it up from the bottom. Did we talk about Drag Race yet? We have to. I'm going to save it for the end. 411. Yeah, so I'm 5'6". People ask me that a lot. And I tend to like my skirts on the longer side. So about 27 inches would be my standard for like knee length-ish skirts, below knee length skirts. And then, yeah, a dressing gown or a floor length garment is a totally new thing for me. This is only the second time I've done a floor length garment. There's this, and then for Butterick, I did that like Sabrina inspired gown. So I think that's it, guys. Have I really only done 2 floor length garments? I guess so. Yeah, I tend to stick to like knee length stuff. So yeah, this is totally new for me, but I'm happy with the length this came out. And yeah, I would just say if you're not sure about the length for you, then just check the pattern pieces, but you can turn it up more when you're ready to hem. Yes, certainly easier to shorten rather than lengthen. Okay, so let's see. I have some show and tell items. Oh, Lily says, I'm going to do the fold in the middle because I don't want to lose the volume at the bottom. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. You can do it that way too. Yeah, whichever. There is a lot of volume at the bottom. Did I end up making the Hepburn top in scuba yet? I hadn't planned to make it in scuba. I don't actually have any scuba, but I did get some French terry to make it in. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. So I did get that French terry in the mail, and it's great. I think it's going to be a really good match for the Hepburn top. So I would definitely recommend that. I know we have talked about scuba before, and my feeling is, unless you know exactly how much the stretch percentage is before ordering it, I would be pretty wary. Scuba can be super stretchy and slinky, or it can have more stability. It just is, there's such a range when it comes to scuba. So yeah, I don't have any plans to make it in scuba. It's just not a favorite fabric of mine personally. So I'm going to work with the French terry, and I'll take a picture of that. Donna says, if you're going to remove 3 inches in length, would you redraft the sides to make it wider? I wouldn't. I mean, this skirt is pretty wide. We made it so that the entire thing, one piece, right? So like 1/4 of the back, let's say, for a size 20, you can lay it out on 45-inch wide fabric. So in like a size 20, the entire back hem is like 90 inches. So that's pretty substantial. And I think that people, it's not like a ball gown, but I think, you know, you're not going to miss any of that fullness if you just take off 3 inches from the bottom. I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. I always miss what you guys are talking about. And there's so many conversations going on today. All right, I'm just going to do my little show and tell. So let's see. I have some shoes to show you guys. I placed an order with Remix when they had a sale on high heels. They did like a heels sale earlier this month, year. I don't know. It was a while ago. But I have been eyeing these like Hollywood slides forever, and I finally ordered them because there was like a discount code. And how fun are these? So these are just like, these are like remakes of Polly of California, who made these slides. And if you remember, Pleaser had a reproduction of these for a while. Pleaser is that like stripper slash drag queen slash performer brand that you can get on Amazon, and they're all like $20 each. But I don't think they make those anymore. And Polly of California doesn't produce them anymore. So Remix is making them now. They're so fun, and I really love the gold color. I tried these on. I will say with Remix, it's nice if you can try them on, though obviously we can't go anywhere and try anything on right now. But at Dapper Day, did they have a booth at Dapper Day, guys, at the expo? I think they did. And I think that's when I tried these on. Yes, they did. So it was the one in Anaheim, and I tried these on, and I was like, I'm going to buy those someday, but I didn't have any, I didn't actually have any room in my suitcase to bring them home. So I did order them. So yeah, I wear like a size 9 in these, and that's like my usual size. And then with other Remix shoes, I'll wear anywhere from an 8 to an 8.5 to a 9. So I just feel like I'm never really sure what size to order with them. So I got those. And then I also got the Carmen shoe in pink. I love this pink color that Remix makes. And they did their Carmen shoe in pink, which I'm really excited about. So I will pretty much order any shoe they produce in this pink color because I think it's so cute. It's like a cute little peachy blush color. And the Carmen shoe is just like a nice baby doll pump with a thick heel and a round toe. So it goes with a lot of stuff. And yeah, I ordered an 8.5 in these. So I don't know. And I knew that fit because I have the Carmen already in a brown croc. So this is a great shoe, goes with so much stuff. I love this pink color. So pretty. So yeah, I got those in their last little sale. And they're doing a lot on social media right now. All right, so we're just going to make this an accessory day because I have a lot of accessories out right now. So yesterday I was photographing stuff, and I really wanted some round 30s style sunglasses to wear with these looks. So that's just a little hint. I'm not going to give any more away about this project, but it has some 30s vibes to it. And I have a pair of round sunglasses somewhere in this house, somewhere in my studio, who knows? I couldn't find them. And I was like tearing the house apart, couldn't find them. And then I remembered that I have my good friends, Lux Optique. I don't know if you guys have seen, I posted some pictures. I have a friend who works at Lux, Ryan. He's the one who did the photos in the diner. He's a photographer too, and he does photos for Lux, and he works at Lux. So he has taken photos of me in their glasses before, and like all my glasses are from there, and they're sort of like a high-end optician slash glasses store. Opticians, yeah, that's the right word. And right in my town in Beacon, New York. And so as I was like tearing my house apart, I was like, I guess I could ask Ryan if I could borrow some sunglasses. And I don't borrow stuff a lot for shoots, honestly, and I don't ask people to borrow things because I kind of feel like I like to support these brands who do this, like Remix and stuff like that, and I end up using stuff multiple times. So it's just my preference rather than to ask to borrow stuff. Like if I want something for a shoot, I'll just buy it to support the designer. But that said, I did take advantage of this friendship yesterday to borrow some 30s style sunglasses. And he was very sweet about it and said like I can borrow sunglasses or glasses whenever I want. And I went up there. It was such a weird experience. I haven't been into any stores during quarantine, and opticians are an essential service, so there's still people. Well, there are like employees in there, and it's appointment only. So it was just weird going in there. I haven't like seen anyone. It was just really weird. It was surreal. So, and I think I may need to buy a pair of these. So you guys have to tell me what you think. But I am obsessed with these Theo glasses, and I modeled these for Lux before. How fun are these? I feel like they have this like very steampunk kind of vibe to them. Oh my God, are we feeling this fantasy, guys? I love these. I feel like they are like modern, like, but steampunk, but 30s. Very beautiful. I like these a lot. What do we think? Are we liking this? So these are the pairs. This is the pair. Let me help. Let me try to speak. This is the pair I wanted to borrow that I had in mind because I did model these for Lux. And so I had them in mind. Yeah, aren't they great? Steampunk Art Deco. Yes. So yeah, I just like let me fix my hair. They don't go with the dressing gown, obviously. No, though, do I look like I'm like a patient? Maybe like at a sanitarium, I'm like sitting out on a beach chair, and like my doctor prescribed me to like get fresh air somewhere, and I'm like suffering exhaustion. Oh, let me just go to the beachside sanitarium. So that's the fantasy I'm getting from these. We like them. I may need them permanently. I agree. So these are okay. So those are by Theo. They're titanium, very fancy. And yeah, all of their glasses are like we're talking high end here, guys. And I didn't go there for years because I was like, it's too fancy for me. And even though I like fancy things every now and then. But then when I went in, I totally like hit it off with Ryan, and now we're like little buddies. You want to go to a beachside sanitarium? I know I do too. Oh, so Ryan then said, well, why don't you take another pair too? And he was like giving me like big round ones, and I'm like, no, I'm thinking like small. If you think of like the 30s and like beachside 30s, I think of those like little perfectly round sunglasses. So he suggested these, and they're kind of like a meet in the middle vibe between like big glam round sunglasses and that 30s round shape. So these are by Emmanuel Kahn. So what do we think of these? By the way, I told Ryan I would return these today. That didn't happen. I was like, I need them for my live stream. You like these too? I don't know. Which do we like better? These feel a little more modern to me. What do we think? Am I feeling the sanitarium vibes? The fantasy, the glam? I like these too. I feel like the first ones are my favorite. I'm not crazy about these. Let's do a 1-2. I like the first ones more. First best. Oh, yes. See? Yeah, these get me going, guys. It's going to be these. These really get me going. So, yeah. Yeah, this might be a permanent acquisition. Yes, you can find me at the Beachside Sanitarium. I just have a tinge of the exhaustion. I do. I do. I need a crowdcast poll. You're right. I feel like my heart flutters a bit when I look at these, so I think it's going to be these. So I did get great pictures in both of them. Sunglasses are so fun. Yeah, so loving these, loving the steampunk art deco. So yeah, I think I will bring these home permanently. Yeah, so that was a fun little sojourn. Yeah, the first ones. But these are fun too. Fun little sojourn to Luxe Optique on Main Street yesterday. And yeah, I love them so much and love them for helping me out in my hour of need yesterday. My sojourn. I like it, Amy. Very clever. Yeah, so if you want to find, I'm not, this isn't a sponsored podcast. Welcome to my podcast, everyone. This is not a sponsored podcast, but I do like to support small businesses like help Luxe Optique here in Beacon, New York. So check them out. They have a great Instagram, sometimes featuring me, and they also have a great website. The first are more unique. So welcome to my podcast. Welcome back to my podcast. Did I already name my nail polish? This is OPI Pink Flamenco. Still doing my own nails, guys. Can you believe it? They're a little, I've struggled a bit with the process of doing a fill. I think I need to like sand it down a little bit more down here because I keep getting these like ridges that like catch on my hair and stuff. We did not talk about Drag Race yet, Colin. I'm kind of saving it for the end because I know that some people haven't seen it. So, but we are going to talk about it. Don't worry. Yeah, so fancy podcast. All right, everyone. Yeah, let's get right on to Drag Race right now. Can I show us your outfit? This is the rose dressing gown. You can see pictures on my Instagram. I'm not going to stand up because you might see me flash my sweatpants, and we can't have that. So let's see. Anything else before we get to Drag Race? We have a lot of Drag Race stuff to go over. They bring out the inner Gertie-ness. Classy chica. Mina. So let's see. Should we get onto Drag Race? Do you like, this is like a miscellaneous topic day in case you haven't noticed. In case you haven't noticed, the sweatpants would be more scandalous than the petty pants. I know, it would ruin the fantasy. You're right. I can't show you the sweatpants, but I am very cozy underneath this gown. Let's see. Can I address the current issue of copying my patterns? I don't know if there is a current issue. I do know that there's been a little bit of sharing or potential sharing of the PDFs between on Facebook between people. Oh yeah, we shut her down. Yeah, so thank you, Michael. I did get some messages about someone was messaging people saying that she had all of the charm patterns and she would trade for other PDF patterns to like, do a sharing of PDF patterns, which obviously is illegal, and a no-no. And one of the, I mean, I don't worry about this stuff too much. I've told you guys this before. Like once you get into the business of like releasing PDF files to people, like if you worry every day about people like sharing the files, you'll just lose your mind. But this woman had a lot of nerve because she was actually messaging people on Facebook and just sort of like cold messaging people in the show and tell and everything. And so, yeah, we haven't really addressed it yet. But I mean, as I was telling Melisha earlier, I was like, I think she's going to get all the punishment that she deserves just from people in the groups, because, and that's the other reason I don't worry about this stuff, is because I feel like the sewing community as a whole, and you guys, I mean, really are like, you're believers, obviously, in what we do as small businesses, and you like, I just feel like you like fiercely protect us like indie companies. And I really appreciate that. So I just feel like you guys probably shut her down so hard that she's like already walked away in shame. So I was like, oh, she's going to get it, you know? So I don't really worry about it. But I did make sure that she wasn't in Patreon because I was a little worried about that. You know, if she was going to be receiving the files, and, you know, we just have to figure out a way to kind of block people like that from purchasing PDFs again. So that's really all I'm going to do about it. And, oh, gotta be. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys will like, I see, it's like when people, you know, like insult my tattoos or something on Instagram, like you guys are always there to defend me. So I don't worry about it too much. And I feel like because she brought in some other brands like Seamwork, and I'm one of a bra pattern or something like that. I don't know who it was, but I think, you know, between those three brands, you know, we have enough devotees such as yourself who are going to properly shame her. Not that I support, I will say, not that I support like finding this woman and like, you know, going for her, coming for her, whatever we say. So yeah, I feel like, you know, it's, you don't need to do anything, guys. Don't worry. I'm not telling you to like get out your pitchforks or anything, but I did have the moment where I was like, oh, she's going to get the punishment she deserves just by messaging people who like believe in these brands. So yeah, it is gross. It's not cool. It's not cool. And I mean, I'd like to believe that she just didn't know any better. And she'll be properly educated now. So I guess she was trying to trade charm patterns for patterns that she didn't have. Marin's patterns just arrived. Awesome. Yeah, so if you guys, your real ones that you paid for. I know, Marin. You would never rip me off. How could you? So yeah, Melisha has been super hard at work. Well, I've been super hard at work doing all this shooting. Melisha is handling all of the shipping of the new charm patterns of Stanwyck and Hepburn, the little gnat. So she's been very hard at work, and so people who live closer to us are getting their patterns already. So that's great. Oh, Marin, you're in Texas, so that's really great. Okay, so so yeah, she's being her rock star self, doing a lot of shipping. Excuse me. So just send her love. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and yeah, I'm seeing lots of cute Hepburns. Hepburn is such a fast sew that like people are really like knocking those out. We had like a scary moment. I'll just talk about this really quickly because it ended up being not a big deal, but if it continues to come up, some people have posted on the Facebook group saying that the Stanwyck skirt, the full one, is too big for the waistband. So I had some scary moments last week where I was worried there was a printing error or something, one of the files didn't convert correctly or something like that. So I ended up doing a lot of checking and rewalking and remeasuring of the files. And the good news is everything matches. And the pattern is correct. the bad news is it seems like people are hitting a bit of a wall with understanding how to put those two pieces together. So I will say that I will probably do a YouTube video on it, and it's a similar issue that I've noticed to people really struggling, I guess, with easing things in, like two different shapes, like princess seams are a great example. Like every now and then in the show and tell, you'll see someone saying, you know, the princess seam on the princess coat, there's a 2-inch difference between the side bodice and the center front bodice. And it's just like ease. Oh, Sasha, you emailed me. Thank you. Yeah, so it was a scary moment when I thought that maybe something went wrong with the printing, but they do match 1-to-1. The thing is, with a waistband and a rectangle, I'm sorry, let me start over. A rectangle and a circle, okay, is what you have. So the waistband is just a long, skinny rectangle, and then the waist of the skirt is a complete circle. So you're sewing a circle to a rectangle, which is crazy when you think about it. So garment sewing is all about like building in these 3-dimensional shapes. So sometimes you just have weird shapes that go together. So my hunch is that what's happening is that people are just having trouble with easing those two things together. So I'll probably do a video, but if you're struggling with that, I'll just say that I would really recommend like matching your match points first. Okay, so like your side seams to the notches, like there are notches to guide you for the waistband to match to the skirt. And then it may look like the skirt is bigger, but what you need to do is like pin ease those two together. All right. So between each match point, you're going to like divide the excess again, and so on with pins. And then when you go to sew, I would recommend sewing with the side with more ease on the bottom so that the feed dogs kind of feed it through. And that should take care of it. But if you're still having problems, please let me know. One person emailed me and she had 6 extra inches, and I was like, what happened? And I think what happened with her is that she used acrylic felt. And I know I've never sewn with acrylic felt, guys. And I know that you guys have talked about it stretching, and I've seen some reports online that it's a fabric that the fibers kind of come apart. So the only thing I can guess, and we actually went through it together, like by email, like how you would measure the seam lines compared to the waistband, and she printed it out all correctly. I think her felt stretched like 6 inches. So a lot of fun drama. It's not drama, but it was scary as hell, guys. I'm not gonna lie, because yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, even when you're like crazy careful, when you have like 50 sizes and files that are being converted from Gerber to Illustrator to PDF. You know, it's just there's like a lot that can happen, and it's a lot of technical information. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. So if you guys do see posts about that, feel free to let people know that I addressed it here. But also I want to do a video on YouTube that's just like, how do I sew a rectangle to a circle? Like, how do I deal with things being 2 totally different shapes? Gerald and Nancy Drews. Stay stitching. Yeah, stay stitching would be a good idea. Amy says, I wish you success. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to miss it if you're ever so big and famous you aren't emailing one-on-one to troubleshoot. That's nice to hear. Yeah, it is. It's really, it can be hard to keep track of all the correspondence on the different platforms. And yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, like, yeah, if someone tells me that there's an issue with a pattern, like I'm going to be on that so hard. So yeah, I think it's just an easing thing. That don't pull while you sew. All right. A DM aggregator. You're gonna write that software. Please, Amy, do it. All right, everyone. So shall we move on to Drag Race? So we're going to talk about all the Drag Race content that was on VH1 this past Friday. So if you haven't caught up with it and you don't want to hear any spoilers, I hate to say it, but you might want to leave now. Not that I want you to leave, but I also don't want you to, get a resentment that you have been spoiled on Drag Race, because that would be terrible. Drag Race. So, wow, so much Drag Race content on Friday. It took me like 4 hours to watch because we had a new episode, we had the Secret Celebrity Drag Race, and then Untucked. So it is really like, if you're watching commercials and maybe taking breaks to eat, oh my gosh, I got takeout ribs from a local restaurant. They did this big dinner near the studio. They're doing these like big Friday night dinners where you can go order ahead and then go pick up. They'll like bring it to your car. So I had this like amazing dinner and I had Drag Race, and it was an amazing night all around. So yeah, that was like 4 hours at least of watching. Bye, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Michael's caught up with everything. Okay, so the episode. I feel like of all the content, honestly, my favorite part of it was the Secret Celebrity episode. So that's what I really want to talk about. But oh my gosh, Heidi went home. I mean, I can't say I didn't see it coming, but she lasted a lot longer than I expected. I loved her moment with Mama Rue, where Rue was telling her to like look at real estate in New York or LA because it was time to move out of North Carolina. And yeah, I think that she is just like, we were all rooting for her. She kind of came in and she looked a little messy. And so we were like, oh, she's going to be gone in a week. And she just proved that she probably has the biggest heart of anyone on the show. She gave the best talking heads of anyone on the show. Her little confessionals were hilarious. What was her little thing this week? A epiphany? Epiphany? She's so funny. We all just fell in love with Heidi. Poor Heidi always getting her name changed every week. I felt a little bad for her that Rue would kind of like, though honestly, Heidi in Closet it's a terrible name. So let's see if she changes her name now. I like Heidi Aphrodite a lot. Heidi Ho is really cute. Blessed and highly favored. Yes, we love her. Her makeup got so much better. She really grew so much. I loved her whole journey. And I'm sad that she's not going to be there till the end, but I also feel like she's going to bring. Oh my God! The other thing we have to talk about is All Stars 5 cast announcement. So I feel like she's going to be one of the first they bring back for All Stars. Don't you guys agree? So I feel like this was just a starting point for her, and people just love her so much. But the best thing is Rue loves her so much, and yeah, I really love seeing her whole just arc on the show. And okay, so she lip synced against Jada, and there was a little bit of a tiresome little quarrel of, did Jada come in? Was she in the bottom because of her order in the one woman shows? And I mean, personally, who put them in the order? Was it Jackie? I think it was Jackie had to put them in order. And so no one wanted to go last, right? No one ever wants to go last, but someone has to go last. And I think honestly, the reason she put Jada last was because Jada has really been like the front runner for the past couple weeks. And it probably not out of competitiveness so much as it seemed like Jada is not going to go home right now. Like it's not her time. So, Sherry. So yeah, someone had to go last, and Jada was a little little messy about it, I thought, because she kind of agreed to go last and then she made a big deal of it when she was in the bottom. I love Jada so much. I loved her moment with Whoopi. I love seeing her. She's not connected with the other queens so much as she has connected with like Whoopi Goldberg and her super fan. So, and I just love, last week was the super fan makeover and they were all women who are super fans. And when Rue announced that, there's a really funny little like soundbite of Jada going, so Rue says, you're going to be making over women. And Jada goes, I love women. I just love that from Jada. That was her reaction, is I love women. And we really saw her connect with her super fan, like major heart to heart that she wasn't having with the other queens. And then she totally connected with Whoopi Goldberg because of the color purple. And so that was a really beautiful moment. So I don't know, I was just really loving, like, yeah, she loves women. And it was just really cool to see her have those two really heartfelt moments. So I loved that. Didn't love the messiness about the order. I didn't like any of the one woman shows, to be honest. I was like, whenever they do improv, for the most part, for me, it's like, it's not gonna be that great. Yeah, wasn't really loving any of the one woman shows. Crystal won because she was just so out there and just so committed. So that was fun to see. Sherry took up 17 minutes when this was supposed to be a 5-minute little improv show. So yeah, not loving Sherry. I mean, could we love Sherry any less at this point? Apparently, yes. She totally took up way too much time, threw Jada off her game. Not happy about that. Michelle said, I'm so jealous of all the plastic surgery makeup. Oh my God, that cracked me up. I'm so jealous. I love that. Yeah, she did use it as an excuse, Marin. I agree with you. So let's see. Crystal was hilarious though. Yeah. There was a lot of bad one woman shows. Yeah, so I don't know. I didn't love the challenge. I didn't love the shows. I hated seeing Heidi go, but I think it was the right choice. So yeah, that was the episode. Who won? Oh, of course, I already said that. Guys, my short-term memory is really sad. I had to bring out my phone because I don't know if I'm going to remember who was on the Secret Celebrity Drag Race. But let's talk about that next because this was my favorite episode so far of Secret Celebrity Drag Race. So let's see. It was, I'm going to tell you their names, guys. Hold on. I looked it up. The big exciting moment for me was Ted from Schitt's Creek was on Secret Celebrity Drag Race. The other one was Matt Iceman. Is that how we pronounce his name? He is the host of America Ninja Warrior. He looks like he's got this chiseled jaw. He looks like Gaston. He was great. He debuted Betty Bordeaux, who was his drag character. Then we had, his name is Dustin Milligan, played Ted on Schitt's Creek. Love him so much. Love Ted. Was so happy to see him walk in that workroom. And then Alex Newell from Glee. I didn't know who this person was. I hate to tell you guys. And Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. So I believe uses he pronouns, introduced us all to Madam That Bitch. Loved that. So Alex plays with gender a lot in his life. We saw pictures of him dressed in drag in, various sort of gender non-conforming ways. So it's always really interesting in this show seeing people, like first episode was Nico, what's his face, competing against two straight dudes. So it's just interesting seeing people with different levels of comfort and experience dressing in gender bending ways and seeing how far they get on the show or how it affects them. So I really like this. from the Glee project and Glee. Thank you, Marin. So yeah, I really, really love this episode. They all did amazing. I have to say, I think Ted was my favorite. I'm just going to call him Ted. Ted was my favorite because he killed the roast. I mean, they do roasts, like every other season on Drag Race, and it's always a little cringy to watch. There were some serious cringe roast moments. And this was like a professional roast. These jokes, they all had the jokes. Where are the jokes? They were there. But Ted really brought the jokes. So from his roast, I thought he was going to win. And he looked like $1 million goddamn dollars, pardon my French, in drag as Rachel McAdams Apple. He had so many like Canadian drag name puns like prepared as well. So I thought he was going to win. But when they were deciding, I was like, ooh, this would be a tough one because they all did amazing. And in the end, it was a 3-way tie, which I think was so appropriate. They all did so well. And it's just going to be one of my favorite things I've seen on Drag Race, this episode of Secret Celebrity Drag Race. I enjoyed, I don't know, I just enjoyed the differences between the competitors. I enjoyed how much Ted was touched by the process and how much it meant to him. And I think it's always really nice to see like straight men participate in drag culture in the way that he did. So not in sort of like a tourist taking it in kind of way, but more as someone who, you know, said has always had issues with the way, you know, gender expression has been prescribed to him and to the rest of us. So I really thought that was very powerful. And it's always really interesting to see, like, I mean, personally, I find it really touching to see when like straight cis men sort of like understand how like sexism and like the patriarchy has affected them in negative ways too, and how like feminism is something for all of us. Did I just lose like 10 people out of this live stream? But I just find that very, very powerful. So that's what I'll just say, is that I thought that the way that he participated was very powerful. They were all wonderful. And yeah, loved it. So let's see. We love Ted. We love Betty Bordeaux. We love Madam That Bitch. We love them all. And I don't know. So then there was Untucked. Not loving Untucked this season. Not a lot going on. There was a little of Jada's messy drama, but it wasn't that interesting. And yeah, she was just kind of holding a grudge about the order. But then we have the cast announcement for All Stars Season 5. Should we, Dustin for president? He is Canadian. He's so Canadian. So let's see. Drag Race All Stars Season 5 cast announcement. I am super excited about this cast. We have Blair St. Clair, Ms. Cracker, Mayhem Miller, love her. Shea Coulee, probably my favorite on this list. Shea Coulee. Derek Barry, gotta love Derek Barry. Alexis Mateo, I love Alexis Mateo. Jujubee, we love Jujubee. Mariah Paris Balenciaga, love her. And India Farah. Oh, and Angina from season 1. So such a great smattering of queens from across the seasons, not heavy in particular in the, you know, the earlier seasons or later seasons. A really just nice, well-rounded group of queens, I feel like. And I gotta, yeah, just looking at this list, I will say that Shea Coulee, I'm really excited to see what Shea does on this season. Also, I love Alexis Mateo. So many good choices here. So that's what I have to say about all the new Drag Race content. Okay, goodbye. Someone's leaving. They haven't seen the show. I don't watch it, so me calling out these names is amazing. Oh, there's Henry. Hey, Mr. Jingles. So, how do we do? Is Colin still here? Colin, what did you think? That's pretty much all I have to say, guys. Did I miss anything? I always do. Henry Bum. So, Marin, your favorite Jackie is still in there. I'm a little salty about it. She's not my favorite, but I know you love her, so I'm kind of rooting for her on your behalf. Let's see. Who's my favorite of the remaining? Jada is my favorite. I'm rooting for her. Like I said, not a huge fan of Jackie. Sherry, obviously. Yeah, I think I'm rooting for Jada. In the beginning, I was really into Gigi Good, and she's just kind of fizzled. So that has been disappointing, but it'll be fun to see if she makes a little turnaround here. You like Jackie's boy style, but alas, not her drag style. I mean, how cute is she as a boy? Woo, those glasses. Helen says, I only saw the beginning of Celeb this week. We'll finish tonight. I was hoping the one-woman shows would be much stronger. I know, me too. They were a bummer. All right, everyone. So yeah, I would say I'm backing Jada to win. Who else is still remaining? You guys know I have the worst memory. Who else is still in there? Sherry. Oh, Crystal Method. Yeah, she's been fun to watch. She's been pulled out some surprising stuff. Wacky queen. I love that she is. She's just bringing the weirdness. I did not get my Starburst dress from China, so I'm giving that some time. Things are taking a long time as it is right now, but yeah. So I'm just that's been sort of like in the back burner. I think about it every now and then. Gigi almost had a good one-woman show. Yeah, I think if she had been able to like loosen up a little bit, her concept could have been really fun. Starting to like Crystal. Are we all so sick of the El DeBarge thing that I love watching Crystal's face just go completely blank when Rue calls her El DeBarge. Yeah, I figured Sherry would make it pretty far. And I also feel like whoever gets eliminated in this week's episode is going to be called back to compete in the finale in place of Sherry. Don't we think that's what's going to happen? I feel like I'm missing other people, other finalists. But yeah, my money's on Jada. I think she's the strongest personally, but that's for me. I'm excited to see what they do with the finale. All right, everyone. So this was fun. I always like talking Drag Race with you guys. And yeah, I have to get going too. Not really for any good reason. So, oh, Colin, I feel bad for a lot of the designers who work with Sherry, though, since they've edited her out so much and all the designers aren't being seen. I know. I know. What can we do about that? I know she's very scary to look at, too. And she's had some amazing clothes. And yeah, it's not fair to the designers. I mean, a lot just is not fair to the queens either this season. I don't know. It's a weird time. I hope that the designers can at least get some attention through social media or something like that. But yeah, it's a real bummer. Jada in that purple number for real. I know she does look like she's scary with her contacts. Yeah, it is. It's just a shame. It's a shame all around. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me as always. So this week I will be doing more live streams tomorrow and Thursday, and then off on Friday so that I can do more filming for Patreon for next month. So a really fun project planned for you for June Patreon, and you guys are gonna love it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great day, morning, whatever it is, and thank you so much for joining me as always. And I'll come up with some topics for the rest of the week so you're not just like looking at my fans and shoes and stuff like that, though that's fun too. So we can do more show and tell. All right, see you next time, guys. Goodbye.